Okay, those of you who like to daydream about being somebody else are going to love today's exercise. What we're doing today is we're going to be designing an alternate version of ourselves, an alternate character, if you will. So what we're going to need is a pen and a piece of paper. Some of you might not have those things, or you might be driving, or you might not trust me yet. So you can do it in your head. Doing it in your head works also. Now, there's going to be two parts. Yeah, two parts to this drill. I've done this in a classroom setting, and it's really fun. And we end up designing alternate characters and then all sort of speed date with each other, which is interesting, and maybe you and us will do it some other time, but today we're doing it on our own, solo. So, rules, there's a few. Number one, you have to be a human, okay? And that's a loose definition, but you have to be a human. So you're going to be designing yourself in another body. So what makes you you? So independent of this physical body or even your experience in this lifetime, there's another part of you that is separate from that, right? There's another part of you that is experiencing life in this body and through this life experience. So take that essence of you out and you're going to throw it into another body. So the first rule was you need to be a human because somebody wanted to be a rock at one time, so I had to throw that in. But you could be a human video game character, okay? So just human is a loose sort of description of the character, and they need to be your age now. So if you're 35, you can't design yourself as an 11-year-old. You have to design yourself as a 35-year-old. Now, this could be a rock star, a janitor, 18th century bank robber. It could be a janitor on a spaceship that is parked on some asteroid in another galaxy. Whatever you want, wherever your imagination takes you. And speaking of imagination, there's a spectrum, and what I like to think about is that the very strong end of the spectrum of imagination is belief. Okay, so imagination and belief, I feel like imagination is just a lesser form of belief. I'll talk about that some other time. But when you're designing this character, I want you guys to really go towards that belief, right? Because everything that we're sort of imagining is, it's living somewhere, right? It's a misconception that imagination and dreams are not real. They're living in the image nation, right? Like there's a place, the image nation, and you have control of all of those images. You create them. Okay, back to the drill. So, human, anywhere, any person you'd like. Now, the other main thing that comes up in a class is that sometimes people choose a character that already exists. So whether it's a famous movie character or a famous person in history like Abraham Lincoln, let's stick to people that don't exist. Ambiguous, is that the right word to use here? No, because you want to have a well-defined character, but not anybody that you sort of know their life story. So nobody you know, pick somebody, imagine somebody else, okay, that you don't know from this reality that we call life here. So those three rules. Human, or is that two rules? I don't know. Human, and somebody you don't know, and your age. It is three rules. Okay, so if you have that piece of paper, you're going to write down a few questions that I'm going to ask you, and then we're going to pause the video. So the questions are, what is your name? And you might want to answer that last. What is your name? What do you do? And that's an open-ended question. It doesn't necessarily mean work. What do you do? Who are your friends? What does your average day look like? What attributes do you have? Like, what attributes did you here implant over there, right? So the things that make you you here, how are you using them as this new character, right? Like, how, if you're a janitor, how do you wring out the mop, right? How fast do you work? Do you hate your boss? Do you like your boss? Why are you doing the job? What do you like about it? And you're answering that from your perspective, your sort of self that's in this body here. You're answering it from that perspective. And that's really what we want to do is design this character and figure out our essence. This is all stuff that we don't normally think about on a day-to-day basis, right? So the purpose is take 10 minutes. In a class, I give 10 minutes, and the purpose is to really believe that you are this character. So go ahead and pause the video. All right, for those of you who didn't pause the video, it's been about 10 seconds, and you just watched me scratch my mustache and my nose, which I still have to do because my mustache is scratching my nose. For those of you who pause the video, maybe it's been 10 minutes, maybe it's been a day or 20 minutes, but we have a character, right? Okay, so now the second part of the exercise, which is my favorite, which is going to be another pause in the video, this time for a minute or two. I want you to imagine this character, right? Get really into the spectrum of belief. Believe that you are this character. Put yourself in them. And from that viewpoint, you're giving them an assignment, and the assignment is to design you. Whoever's watching this video right now, the character you just designed is going to design you. So take a minute or two, pause the video, and do that. Okay, so that's a little bit weird to think about, right? Because we wake up every day and we sort of live life as ourselves all the time. And we don't, I'm speaking generally, for the most part, we don't realize that we are creating all of this, that we are imagining our life into being. But that's exactly what's happening. So just like you gave that character a reality, and you lived and you believed and you saw, it doesn't take much to feel how you would be as that character. It doesn't take much. It's a very fun exercise because it's borderline real, right? I mean, I believe it's real. I'll have to explain a little bit more before most of you believe it's real, but this sort of reality with this other character, you sort of feel like, okay, haha, this is fun because I get to do this, right? It's like a video game. But then when you imagine them designing you, the question is like, whoa, is this a video game? And my answer is yes, it is. This reality we make it all. And that's the purpose of this drill, is for you to connect with your creative power over your life here and who you are, right? It's independent of your experiences. You have your experiences, but the you that's sort of experiencing life through this physical body, it chooses how it experiences, how it perceives, right? So connect with that. Connect with that part of you. The same part of you that you implanted in that character, implant it in yourself and live. Live however you want. All right. Hope that was fun. See you guys tomorrow.